Hello students, today we will be discussing about string handling. So the first question comes in your mind that what is a string? So you have already learned about what is a string, that string is a data type used to represent text. Suppose you have to store your name, like Varun is your name and you would like to store it. So only string can allow you to store the word. Okay. In case of character data type, you can store different single characters, but in case of string you can store multiple characters or multiple characters combined in a single variable, that is string. And how you will identify the string? Through the double quotes that we will enclose. Like this one is your string. Why? Because it is enclosed in double quotes. This espresso is your string. Now, after the definition, one thing to note, that the indexing of string always starts with 0. It is same as we do in the arrays, where in arrays also the indexing starts from 0. The same is the case with string, where the indexing will start from the 0. Now the next question comes in the mind, that how we will be creating the strings. So there are two methods to create the string. First is through the string literal, or you can say that it is a implicitly used method to do what? To define a string or to create a string. So how you will do it? First you will define the data type. So your data type is string, followed by your string name, and whatever string you would like to store in your string variable will be enclosed in double inverted commas. And how it will be represented in the string? Like this. This my coffee string is stored like this. Each character is stored at different index. So this one is your index. So indexing starts from 0. So this is the implicit method to create a string, where you will first define the data type, followed by the string name, and equated by the string value that you would like to store in the string. After this, we will be discussing the second method, the very popular method that we do through the string, or you will be discussing it through the new keyword. That means what? You will be using the new keyword. So this is the syntax, where you will do what? You will write it like string followed by the object name is equal to new string. Now suppose we have an example where we would like to store the same espresso in the second kind of method, where we will be doing the string creation through new keyword. So this string my coffee is equal to new string, and whatever value you would like to store will be placed in the double quotes in the bracket. So these are two methods through which we will be creating the strings. Now after this, we will be discussing about the different string class methods that we will be using in the Java programming language. So the first method is trim method. So what is the working of trim method? That it removes white spaces from both ends of a string. It removes what? White spaces. So what are the white spaces? Let's take an example, that if I will write a thing like this, A. Now over here, this is your white space. So whatever is the blank space in the Java programming language, you will call it as white spaces. Okay. Every blank space in the Java programming is known as your white space. Now how you will define the method? Like this you will define the method string object dot trim followed by this bracket. Now to clarify this in a much broader way, I am giving an example. In this example, first we have defined the main class, the class, then the main class, and after this we have a string that is mystr, and in this you have stored hello world. You can see that over here on the left we have white spaces, and on the right also we have some white spaces over here. So the working of string method is what? It will remove white spaces from both ends of a string. So how you will use it? First you will be printing the value of my string. So what we did, system.out.println mystr, where whatever is enclosed in double quotes will be printed. Like you can see the output over hello world. And after this we will be using the trim method to do what? To remove the extra white spaces from both ends of a string. So after this we have used the mystr dot trim. So this is your string object followed by the trim method. So what it will return? It will just remove the white spaces. So this white space will be removed on the left and the right also. So what will be the output? This hello world with the output. Second, in the second method, to lowercase, sometimes we need to write the word in a lowercase. Okay. For that we will be using the toLowerCase method to convert a string to lowercase letters. And what is the syntax? String object dot toLowerCase. Now see the example. This is our string, that is txt is equal to hello world, and when we will be writing like system.out.print txt, this is your string object dot toLowerCase. That means what? Whatever text is there in the string, you have to write it in the lowercase. So you can see that over here h and this w is in uppercase, and when we will be using the toLowerCase, it will convert this capital H into or capital in the uppercase into lowercase. So this will be the output hello world. Next, when you need to convert the string into uppercase letters, so in that case you will be using the toUpperCase, and the syntax is string object dot toUpperCase. So this is your method to use. And let's talk about the example. That first we have defined the class, then we have defined the main class, and then we have defined a string, that is hello world. So now we have to do what? We have to convert the string into uppercase. So this is your string, and this is how we will convert in the uppercase. Now after this, length method, which returns the length of a specified string. Now this is the example. This is the syntax string object dot length. String object dot length. Now in this example, public class main. First main class is defined, then main, then after this the main method is defined. Then after this it is followed by the string, that is txt, and you can see the alphabets written from A to Z. So there are 26 alphabets in the English language, as you already know. So when we will write it like system.out.println txt.length, so what we are doing, we are finding the length for the particular string, that is txt, and what is the value for the particular string? It is from A to Z. So it will be returning the number of characters that is stored in the string, and that is 26. So this 26 will be the output. Now, as I have already told you that the indexing starts from 0, and suppose we have to find the element at fourth element, character at fourth element. So what we will be doing, we will be using the next kind of method, that is charAt. That means what? Character at followed by the index number. So this is the syntax, string object dot charAt index, and this is your main method where you will be using public class main, public static void main string args, and this myStr is your string having the value hello. So we did what? We have taken a character variable, that is result, and in that we are storing the mystr.charAt 0. So at the 0th index, what is the element? H is the element. So what will be the output? H. Now next is your indexOf method. The indexOf method returns the position of the first occurrence of the specified characters in a string. When the first time the object appears, you will tell the index number, or you will return the position of the first occurrence of the specified character. Now in this, what we have to do, in this this is the syntax, string object dot indexOf char. In the example you can see that we have a string, mystr is equal to hello planet earth, you are a great planet. So in this we are searching for what? System.out.println mystr.indexOf planet. So when the first time this word planet appears in this whole string, you will be providing the index number, or you will be returning the index number. So as I have told you that indexing starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. From the 6th index, the value or the word planet is starting. So you will be returning that index. So this will be the index, that is 6. Next up is the method, that is the lastIndexOf method, which will return the position of the last occurrence of the specified character. So it is the opposite of the indexOf method, where it will represent, or it will return the first position of the first occurrence of the specified characters. But in case of lastIndexOf, it will be returning the position of the last occurrence of a specified character. So this is the lastIndexOf method. So how you will be representing it? The syntax is string object dot lastIndexOf char, and in this you will be representing what? You will be taking this statement and you will be returning the index from which this word planet is starting up. So you will be returning 36. Now suppose we have two different words like John and Doi, and we would like to join them. Like we would like to write it like John Doi. In that case, we will use a concat method, which appends or concatenate, or you can say that add. It can add the two strings, and where? At the end of the another string. So let's understand this using an example. String object dot concat, and whatever you would like to concatenate will be the string 2. So we have two strings, string first name, string last name, and we would like to join it and make it a single name. So how we will be doing it? First we will write the string object. So first name is your string object dot concat, and you would like to concat the first name with the last name. And which method you will be using? You will be using the concat method. So it will join this first string with the second string. That means the overall output will be John Doe. So this will be the output. Next method is to equals method. So this one method is used for comparing the two strings. And if we remember one thing, that this method will compare the two strings, but the return value will be in the boolean form. So it will be in the true or false. And one thing to note, that in this method, this small case g and uppercase G are two different characters. Now see in this example how you, before that example, see that how the syntax will be written. String 1 dot equals string 2. So this is the syntax. And the example is that this is our first string mystr1 and this is the second string mystr2. So this is hello and this is hello again. So that means what? Now we would like to compare whether mystr1 and mystr2 are equal. So how we will be comparing it? First string dot equals second string. So mystr dot equals mystr2. So this is how you will be comparing. So you will be comparing the each and every element, and you can see that these elements and the element in this string also are same. So it will return a true value. And if one thing to note, that if one of the string is differently written than the other, okay, in that case it will be returning the false value because the string will be a mismatch. Okay, so in equals, what will happen? You will be comparing the two strings, and the elements or the characters that you are comparing, if they are in different cases, then the value will not match, and in that case it will return true. But suppose if we have a method that is equalsIgnoreCase, which will ignore the case, that means what? Whether it is uppercase or lowercase, it is insignificant to it. Okay, that means what? It will be ignoring the cases. But one thing to note, that it will return again a boolean value, that is true or false. So this is your string str1 hello, and this is mystr2, that is hello. When you will compare them, it will come as true. But if you would have been comparing it in the equals method, it will be returning a false value. Next method is compareTo method, which is used to compare two strings. But one thing to note, that the comparison will be based on the Unicode value of each character in the string. And what it will be returning? It will be returning 0 or less than 0 or greater than 0. Three values can be returned through it. Now when we will be comparing the mystr1, that is hello, and mystr2 hello, so in both the cases the strings are same. So when we have compared them, the value will be equal to 0. Why? Because it is a match. That means what? Both the strings are same. So same is the difference with the compareToIgnoreCase, where it will ignore the lower and uppercase elements, and it will compare the elements according to the Unicode character set that the value or the string has. This is hello and this is in smaller case hello, but that will be same if we are comparing it through the compareToIgnoreCase. And what it will be returning? It will be returning 0. Now suppose in the next method, when we have to extract a substring from the whole string, that means what? If we have 10 characters and we would like to extract some characters from the given string, then the substring method is used. And there are two syntaxes. That means what? In two forms you can use the substring method. where string object dot substring start index, and you have not defined the ending index. So that means what? It will start from the index that you have given, and it will end up to the last of the index or the last element of the index. But suppose you would like to extract characters between 5th to 8th characters in the string, then in that case you need this kind of substring definition, where first you will define the start index and then you will define the end index. Now see, in this example, mystr1 is equal to blue moon. So this is your string, and in that string first we would like to extract a substring using this first syntax method. So from 5th it will be system.out.println mystr1.substring, and from 5 it will be extracting the value. So which is the 5th index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th. This is 5th index. From here it will start and it will end up to the ending or the last element of the string. So what will be printed? Moon. Next up, that when we are extracting the element, so in that case we have to define through this syntax or through this definition. So mystr1.substring 5, 9. So this is the output, moon. Then comes the replace method. In this replace method, sometimes you need to what? You need to replace some of the characters with the different character. So in that case you will use the replace method. So this is the method string object dot replace the old character that you would like to replace, and from the element you would like to replace, this is the new character. So that means what? We would like to replace L, we will like to replace this L character with P. So string mystr is equal to hello system.out.println mystr.replace L, P. So this is the old character L, and the new character that you would like to replace is P. So this was hello, and we have replaced L with P, so the output will be hippo. Now suppose we need to find whether a string starts with a specified character or not. So in that case we will be using the startsWith method. So this is the syntax string object dot startsWith prefix str. So this is the main class, then main method used, and this is your string. And now you would like to check whether the element starts with HEL or not. So this is hello, and it will be starting with hello. So what it will return? It will return true, because that value will be true, because this hell will match with this element. And after this next statement, you can see that we have to start with LLO. So there is no element starting from first. So at the first index the value is H, and we need at the 0th index we need 0th, that is L. So it is a mismatch, that's why it will return false. So one thing you would have understood, that when we are starting with when we are using the start with method, it will return a boolean value. And how it will check? It will check with the indexes. So this 0 will also be a mismatch, and it will be not able to match with this hello. Why? Because the first element over here is H and the first element over here is O. So that's why it will return false. Next, this one, in this case what will happen? In this case we are looking for whether a string ends with the specified character or not. So in that case we will have taken a string, and first we have checked for hell. So we are checking from the starting index and starting index, but we need the index at the end of the string. So this will return false, and this LLO will return, that will be returned from by this value, and it will be true. Why? Because LLO is at the end of the string. Also O will be a match for you because it is at the last of string. Next is, suppose we need to return the string representation of the argument. That means what? Whatever we have value we have stored in the different characters, we need to print it as a string. So for that case we will be using the value of. So that means what? Whatever will be the data type, we have to convert that in a, or you can say that we have to store that in a string. So this is how you will do it. That first you will define the various data types, and then you will be providing the value to a string using the value of method. So this will be the So in this video we have discussed about all the methods. In the next video we will be discussing some of the programs and the problems based on string handling.